The custom Deathstroke fight is coming together, the level up system is also reworked significantly, and there's been some more changes to combat. The Master Overhaul mod for Arkham Knight aims to make it a more challenging game, ushering in big changes including new character and Batmobile skins to unlock through Riddler chests and side missions. Some of the skin unlocks include the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League suit by IceMage, and the Telltale Batmobile and 2022 Batmobile skins by Kbachani. We're also now adding the XC or Extreme Environment suit by Luis to the list. All the mentioned skin mods are also available to download now in the description. Right now we're looking at 20 available skin unlocks, and I'm hoping to reach around 30 unlockable skins when the mod is complete. Batmobile sections are optionally more challenging. Users can choose between an anti-Batmobile version and a pro-Batmobile version when the Overhaul releases. Some of you have been asking for a release date. This is easily the most ambitious project I've worked on, and it takes a huge amount of time to test and polish everything properly. The realistic release date right now is this December, so almost a year away, but I would like to release it much sooner than that, ideally in April. Right now I have to juggle this mod alongside regular work in my personal life, which really limits how much time I can put into development. If you want to help speed things up, I've opened a Patreon which is linked below. Supporters get early sneak peeks and progress updates as the mod evolves. All of the mods will be free as they always have, and nothing will ever be paywalled. Patreon just helps me dedicate more time on development and helps me release these Arkham mods earlier by affording me more time to work on them. Either way, I seriously appreciate the support, and I'm excited to show you what's coming to Arkham Knight. Let's take a quick look at some of the combat changes. I've gone over a lot of the changes in previous videos covering the mod, but in short, the enemies are faster and deal more damage. I've restored the Bat Swarm ability, and the special combo backdoor move now has a wider field of view, making it more comfortable to keep track of enemies during combat. I've also uploaded an optional mod for disabling counter icons, which is available right now. No more New Game Plus required to get rid of counter icons. It works with the base game and it's going to work with the Overhaul. A new change I'm implementing is disabling the medic zaps, which is when medics charge up an enemy to coat them in electricity. I always thought it looked out of place, and it's easy to spam the backclaw against zapped enemies. Nothing can really hurt you if you keep backclawing them. Instead, the medic enemies are now armored, adding a bit more enemy variety. I've also raised the combo meter requirement for Batmobile assist attacks from 9 to 12. I find it boring to keep seeing the same animations with the Batmobile assist attacks, mainly because they're in slow motion. I've removed the slow motion to make it feel less intrusive during combat. I can actually remove the slow motion of a lot of attacks, if not all of them, for all playable characters. Let me know which attacks feel too slow for you and interrupts the flow of combat. I'm not gonna talk much about the Batmobile in this video, but as a quick rundown, users can choose if they want Batmobile combat to be harder or not when playing this mod. Each Batmobile skin comes with unique gameplay stats to make gameplay more varied between the Batmobiles. For example, the Joker-mobile can be used in a campaign and has additional missiles, and the Telltale Batmobile has faster drone hacking. It certainly adds a level of depth that makes even myself, a non-Batmobile fan, find Batmobile combat more intriguing. I'm trying to make the open world more fun after completing the side missions. It's super bare bones with basic thugs that sometimes carry a bat, and there are some vehicles driving around. The open world in Arkham City and Origins were scattered with meaningful threats, including snipers. For now, I've reduced the amount of enemies that flee from Batman, so more of them stay and fight. But even after hours of experimenting, there's no clear way to give them different weapons or add some enemy variety. I definitely want to test it more. Foxtrot has been very helpful, logging a lot of information for me to go through, and it would be good to make the open world more fun. I've removed the compass that persists at the top of the screen. A user suggested this a while back, and it does look better this way while remaining straightforward to navigate around the game world. I've increased the combo required to fill the dual play takedown meter. Taking damage or losing your combo doesn't affect the meter, which makes it feel too easy to fill up, so I've upped the combo requirement instead. Let's talk about some of the bosses. I've gone over the basics in the previous Arkham Knight video, but we're mostly limited to editing the existing boss values. We can't go crazy and create custom cutscenes or animations. The modding potential is pretty small with Arkham Knight, so we're forced to be creative. Let's take a look at Two-Face. He has his own boss fight at the end of his side missions, and he doesn't really offer anything unique. I've looked at his parameters and he's actually a regular predator enemy. He just has a two-faced skin and some dialogue layered in. He is surrounded with medics, jammers, and enemies invisible to detective mode. All of them are more of a threat than him. You can take him out instantly, whether it's a silent takedown, fear takedown, jamming his gun with the disruptor. In all honesty, he's kind of a joke in this game. So what can we do to make him at least a bit more challenging? I disable the ability to glide kick him by giving him the armored setting. You can keep spamming the batarangs at him, but he keeps an eye open for them. If you try to fear takedown him, he won't care. The only real ways left to take him out are environmental takedowns, weapon jamming, which I might change, and for some reason stupid silent takedowns will still work against him. Unfortunately, there is no option to disable silent takedowns on enemies, not that we can find right now anyway. More experimenting is needed for silent takedowns, but my current approach is to raise his perception so you're forced to be more careful if you try to sneak up on him. I also need to nerf the gargoyles here so you can't use inverted takedowns. Nightwing's boss fight appears in Harley Quinn's DLC mission, and he actually has more going for him than most of the bosses. He's a stun stick enemy with a health bar. You have to keep attacking him from behind while dealing with the officers. He's vulnerable to Harley's stun, allowing you to do beatdowns. You only need to use 4 combat takedowns to take him out. He's pretty low on health. The changes you see to Nightwing aren't mine. SpideySansGoku overhauled him. Nightwing now has much more health. He requires more combat takedowns than usual. Nightwing's damage and attack speeds were also raised. After experiencing the changes myself, you definitely have to be more wary of Nightwing at all times. You can't really spam him with redirects anymore. There's more focus on watching his next move and reacting accordingly. He also evades if you try to stun him. He definitely doesn't feel weak anymore. The Boxer Joker or Goliath boss isn't much of a threat either in the base game. He constantly spams this jab combo which does a very small amount of damage, and he raises his guard to armor himself from your attacks. The only way to hurt him is with your takedowns. I tested removing all of the enemies that fight alongside him, leaving you to only fight him, and the cutscene introducing him actually works seamlessly without the other enemies. The bizarre and I guess convenient part is the only way to damage him is with dual takedowns, but using regular strikes against him counts towards the dual takedown meter anyway. I've sped up the jab animations and greatly increased the damage of his attacks, and his health is much higher. Even his walking movement sped up, so it's harder to maintain a safe distance. I ended up resetting his health after some testing because this felt too much, especially since the dual takedown requirements were bumped anyway. The next step is to give him a different animation when you evade over him if possible, just to avoid being able to choose him. I also would like to add another way to damage him. I want to know if everyone prefers not having enemies alongside him, or if I should keep the enemies so you can use them to reliably bank up the dual takedown meter. Pyg is a super basic boss, even though his mission is probably what raised the game's age rating. All you really have to do is dodge or counter his knife throwing attack, but the knives do small chip damage. You have to take out his victims first, and his victims are at least a bit different than your usual enemies. I've increased the speed of his knife throwing combo so you have to be faster with your counters, and I've boosted the damage way up. Yeah, that's pretty much it, there's not a lot to say about him. I'll talk about Deathstroke in a bit, but let's cover the XP system first as it receives a slight change. The way the game's leveling system works is simple. Each level up you get awards you an upgrade point or rain tech point which you can use to unlock abilities. In the base game, the first upgrade point requires 2000 XP, and every next point requires more XP until you hit the ceiling of 10,000 XP per point. Some missions and tutorials also reward you with upgrade points. For example, when you first unlock fear takedowns, you can obtain like 5 upgrade points within a few minutes by quickly playing through the tutorials. So why exactly am I bringing this up? Well, I've turned some of the more powerful upgrades into legendary tier upgrades, which means they are expensive and cost 25 points. The legendary upgrades are 5 fear takedowns, special combo backclaw, increased smoke size, triple batarangs with boosted stun time and extra disrupt ammo. The intention is to force players to pick just 2 or 3 upgrades of their choice out of the 5 that are available due to how powerful they are. There are 3 changes I'm making to the XP system to better realize the legendary upgrade system and your progression in the game. The first change is removing most of the mandatory upgrade points you receive from side missions and tutorials. The second change is adjusting how much XP you receive for different actions. Regular enemies each drop 25 XP in the base game. I've now changed it to 200 XP per enemy. Then there's the third and biggest change. There's a way to dynamically adjust how much XP is required for each point as you progress the game. I can make it so you need 5000 XP per upgrade point for the first 100 upgrade points, then eventually you need 10 million XP for an upgrade point when I want to force a cap. This makes it easy for me to control how many legendary upgrades you can unlock in your run, allowing you to obtain a couple of them early on while stopping you from unlocking the rest of them and becoming too overpowered. But I'm gonna be slightly nicer than that. Instead of making it impossible to unlock all legendary upgrades, I'll instead add an XP hurdle that's possible but time consuming to overcome. For example, it might require 5000 XP to unlock a new upgrade point, but then suddenly you need 200,000 XP to unlock the next point, adding a huge spike to overcome, and then it drops back down to 5000 XP required for the next few upgrade points. Since the Overhaul tries to make the game more like an RPG, I like the idea that there's some abilities to unlock even for players who've spent over 100 hours on the mod. Deathstroke has been improved quite a bit since the last video. I'm still using this challenge map as a testbed. This isn't where his boss will be set. For Deathstroke, I'm using the ninja enemies as a base and expanding upon it. Darksheep explained the process for swapping around animations. Huge thanks goes to him. You can reuse some existing animations from different characters. In the case of Deathstroke's walking animation, it was Darksheep's idea to use Azrael's sword walking animation for Deathstroke's walking animation, since Azrael holds a sword and stands more upright. I've edited Deathstroke's parameters to make him physically more imposing. You can't use any of the gadgets against him, he'll either dodge or tank them. He also no longer ragdolls randomly, so heavy strikes and Batman's throw counter ability barely move him. I've really tried to find a way to cheese Deathstroke during testing and it's just not possible anymore, which to me means he's hard to beat. So what's left for Deathstroke? Well, we have to implement him in a campaign, and I'm looking at the GCPD rooftop section. The reason I want to add him here of all places is because this is one of the few places with the difficulty modifier system, so I should be able to increase Deathstroke's health and make him faster than usual enemies. I can reuse existing Deathstroke dialogue and link it to this section to sell him even further. I do also want to give him a unique attack animation, but I'm still searching the files for a suitable animation. My current plan is to let Batman take on Deathstroke at this point in the campaign, and you might be thinking Batman will arrest him straight after, but he doesn't. Deathstroke will still return for his side missions after you beat the campaign. All his side missions, including his tank fight, will still happen as normal. This is to ensure you can reach 100% progress in the game and to avoid any potential bugs that would happen if you were to arrest Deathstroke during his rooftop boss fight. And besides, in the story, Batman says right after the rooftop fight,
"Don't worry, Oracle. I'm on my way,"
indicating his urgency to stop Scarecrow. I'll have to remove environmental takedowns from the rooftop or find a way to disable them, because any of them could take out Deathstroke in an instant. Where I am concerned is it seems problematic when I try to remove some of the enemy spawns and change it to just Deathstroke on his own. There's something about this section that hates interference with enemy spawns, so I'll have to work it out. The difficulty modifier system is also active here, but it only makes him faster and doesn't seem to increase his health, another hurdle to work out. We just have to work those two things out and give him slightly different combat animations. I feel like he's getting closer and closer to a realized state. I'm excited to experiment with Jason Todd's boss fight when I can. There's a lot of cut content for his boss, and I'm hoping to restore at least something. I'm also trying to get the original combat gel working. They conveniently left the animation in night. If you have any questions for me regarding this mod or any other Arkham mod, drop a comment and I'll cover the questions in a Q&A video. I hope you're looking forward to this mod. Thank you for watching.